Hi, Trevor here, reflecting on life through music. Welcome and thank you for stopping by. It's wonderful that you're here. Well, I trust you enjoyed my last video on Big Daddy Weave when we looked at this concept of redemption through the story that often redemption needs forgiveness to go with it. And so I trust you actually enjoyed that one. Well, we move on today to a bunch of guys that started in 1986. They originally called themselves Charlotte, but in 1991 they renamed themselves to the band Big Mountain. And I suppose you'd put these guys in the reggae pop genre. And between 1988 and 2016, they've actually released 11 albums. And the band pretty much is behind Joaquin Quino McWinney, who is the lead vocalist in this band. He has such a way about him. He's such a compelling performer, just in the beautiful, cool reggae sort of genre. He's perfectly and has this fantastic voice that goes along with the reggae genre. In 1994, out came the movie Reality Bites, and I suppose the song that made Big Mountain a household name is this song, "Oh Baby, I Love Your Way." And that was part of the Reality Bites soundtrack of 1994. And incidentally, this song actually was written by Peter Frampton, another music legend, back in 1975. So in a sense, we had a reggae feel to what was a beautiful song written by Peter, almost 20 years before this release in 1994. So, "Oh Baby, I Love Your Way," such compelling vocals, beautiful harmonies, and some really beautiful production in this song. But we'll get onto the clip in a minute. So, "Oh Baby, I Love Your Way." Your way. What do we mean by that? Well, we can't define what it is that makes us attracted to somebody else. We can think of things, but it's the way they are. These untold words, these untold things that is about their way that makes them so compelling. And that's what this song is all about. The way they walk, the way, if they're a girl, they toss their hair in a certain way, or the way the moonlight shines on their skin, or the way that they just have a dash of milk in their tea. But when they have their coffee, they have an almond milk or a soy milk or something like that. The way they hold your hand, the way that they hold you tight at night, the way that they look at you, the way that they smile at you, the way that you can just talk for hours about nothing, but you're just so great to be with them. The way that they hold their glass of wine, the way that they walk along a jetty, the way that when the moon is just right, it shines on them and just brings them alive somehow. The way that sometimes you don't need to say anything at all. The way that the person becomes just so familiar, but there is the wonder and amazingness about them. It's their way. Yeah, and I think there's something cool about developing the way that we are, particularly when you're dealing with other people. You can be approachable, being a good listener, being present with people. You develop this way about you that enables people to just connect with you. What is this concept of presence? I think you think about it this way. If we are listening to somebody else, we try to come up with a reply for that to that person, and then we come back with it. Well, I think presence maybe means you turn that off. And you think, well, I'm not going to actually come up with a reply, because if I'm trying to think of a reply, I'm not really listening to the person. And so the better way to go is to say, look, I'm just going to let them hear. talk, and I'm going to just listen to them and see where the conversation goes, as opposed to coming back with some reply. Developing the way that we are is probably the most important thing that we can do. Now, we can be like arrogant and prideful and not listen to anyone, and we can think that money is the be all and end all of life, and we can just think, well, that's the way we're going to be. We're going to be successful at whatever it takes. Well, that is certainly a way of being, and I suppose if I think about people that have found success, you think people like perhaps Steve Jobs and other people, where they've had a vision and that vision's comes to a reality. Well, realistically, in those situations, the vision is the thing that needs to compel the person forward. And so I suppose in this world we do need people who do have this sense of oneness about them. They need to just get a vision fulfilled at whatever the cost. The world needs people like that, because if we didn't have that, we wouldn't have some breakthrough inventions and breakthrough innovations that have come in our world. I think, if you think about man walking on the moon, if you're just going to be this nice, caring, listening sort of person, well, that's not going to keep someone safe when they're trying to get back from a rock in space. No, you need to have that compelling vision to drag you forward. That's one way of being. And as I've said, there's actually nothing wrong with that, because sometimes the world needs that. But I think just generally, maybe the better way to be is to be a listener. Now, listening means putting off the stuff that you want to say, putting off your point of view, putting off your thoughts, just for the sake of the conversation. That is sometimes the best thing we can do. And one thing I find is that when people know that you're being present with them, they slow their speech down, because they know they're not going to be interrupted. Developing a way that is caring, developing a way that is keen on connection and resonating with people, that is sometimes a really, really good way to be. And you may find yourself in a situation where, if you have this connecting, listening ability, people from all sorts of walks of life and all sorts of situations find themselves talking with you, being an encouragement for you. And sometimes that's the best thing that we can be, develop this way about us. But I suppose in this particular song, we're talking about a romanticness, a romantic attachment. And it's not through anything that the songwriters defined. It's not through the way they talk or the way they kiss or the way of anything. It is just their way. Their way is so attractive and so compelling that sometimes it transcends words. So I think in lots of ways, developing the way we are, who we are, the way we interact with others is one of the best things we can do, because we get on so much better in this world when we are seen as someone who is approachable, and sometimes someone that we can connect with, and someone who has the space and time to be able to engage with people. That's the best thing we can do to develop our way. But I suppose what Peter Frampton was talking about when he wrote this song back in 1975 was, "Oh baby, I love you, eh? I just love everything about you. I can't put into words what it is that makes you just so beautiful and wonderful. I don't want to put you into words, because there's so much more to you than even the words that I'm singing. I love everything about you." And I suppose if you have got someone in your life like this, singing a song like this to them, or at least saying the words to them, just shows how much you appreciate that way about them, because they make your life complete and they make your life easy. So I hope today all of that will be an encouragement to you as we consider the way we are in this world. Well, on to the clips today. And one of the things that really has captivated me about Big Mountain is how awesome their vocals are. Obviously, Quino has an incredible reggae voice, but he's backed by an incredible band and backed by incredible vocals. And there really is quite a compelling performance, Big Mountain, when they get together. So I've got two clips today. I've got the official clip of 1994. I suppose you see elements of the song, you see the elements of the movie Reality Bites, which was where this song came from. So there's that clip. And then I've also gone for a live version from 2016 because there's something good about live versions. I think that it really shows off how talented a band is when you actually see them live. And so that's why I've gone for a live version of this song as well. So the descriptions, well, I should say the links to both of those clips are in the description below. And by the way, I've also included my a link to my video from last time as well. So yeah, feel free to have a look at that one from the band Big Daddy Weave. When we looked at Redemption, I was quite happy with the way that one came out. It was a kind of a story that I made up as I went along, and it turned out pretty well, I think. So feel free to look at that one. If you are struggling with this concept of redemption, I really encourage you to have a look at that one and to leave a comment if you wish. But yeah, anyway, Big Mountain, reggae, Oh Baby I Love You Way. How incredible was this song when it came out? It took the world by storm and made Big Mountain a household name. So I encourage you to look at all of those. Well, that's it for today. If you do like this video, please give it the thumbs up and I'd love you to subscribe. If you have come back for another one, it's fantastic that you're here and I appreciate you very, very much indeed. Well, that's it for today. Next time, we're going to go on to the band Big Pig with their song Breakaway. So until then, I'll catch you around.